All right. Hey, guys, welcome back to part 2 of episode 3. For the roundtable discussion, we're talking about the painted minis. We're now at part 2, like I said. So here we go on to question number 4, which is, I have sent people to each one of your channels, and by this I'm talking to you 3 that are on the panel, as you guys have all had painting tutorials at one point or another. And I've also sent others to painters such as Shizaf1, AwesomePaintJob, and I could sit here for 5 minutes talking about the people that I've sent people to. So my big question is, what is the most frequently asked painting question you've been asked by YouTubers? And for this, we're going to mosey on over to Nataku.
The question that I get the most from people who always come in after seeing my videos, they always ask, how in the heck do I get the paints on my miniatures to be so smooth, where you can't even see the brush strokes and everything? And Smurf would attest to this. He's actually seen them. And the answer to that is, you paint in washes. I paint in a series of washes. I water the paints down so much you wouldn't believe it, and I just wash it over there. 1, 2 coats, and it's smooth. Excellent.
All right, Smurf, what about you? What's the question that most YouTubers ask you?
What brush do you use? And to answer that, I use what's called an AUT10. You'll see on the side of the brush, it's 0/10. It's great for fine details, hard lining, because I'm a big fan of base coat wash hard line. But yeah, you can get like a pack of hobby brushes for like $3.99 from Hobby Lobby.
Excellent. John, how about you? What question do you get asked most frequently?
I can honestly say I never get specific questions. I get, how do you paint this for my army or this for my army? So I usually have a large variety of questions I get.
Okay. I got to tell you guys, for me, the question I get asked most frequently, because, you know, I'm the painting channel, is if I don't paint a Black Templar army in black and white, can I still play it as a Black Templar army? Yes, I do that. It's called the Tron Templars, and I hope no one ever requires that of you or anything like that. Further discussion about this, fellas? I mean, is there anything else that just kind of pops up as maybe the number 2 question you get asked the most frequently?
I get a lot, like Smurf does, of what paint that I use. He uses a 10-aught. I use like an 18-aught, like extremely small, itty-bitty, like an eyelash. That's what I use.
You got to return to the paint bucket like every half a second there with such a tiny little brush,
exactly.
Right?
Yes, exactly. But it always frustrates me when you go to paint the eye or you paint some incredible detail. You got this thick brush and you're like, oh crap! But then you got the little thinny when you're like, and you got it.
Fantastic. Let's go ahead and we'll move on over to question number 5. Give me.
Are we skipping John?
I'm sorry. John said that he didn't have any questions that were being asked of him, so I thought, or specific questions. That's why asking what was the number 2 question seemed like a confusing follow-on question for him. John, I'm sorry. Did you feel left out on that at all?
I mean, no, not at all. But I mean, if I throw something out there, I didn't think of it originally. But terrain, how I do the scarring and grooving on the terrain that I use for highlights, and you got to just use a soldering iron or a wood burning tool.
I totally thought you held up a badger to it and just let him gnaw away at it.
It's the more senior technique. It's the more senior technique. You have to know how to handle the badger.
Yeah, it's best not
to keep it.
So. You have like the badger in one hand, and he grabs his tail. It's like he grabs the badger, grabs the tail.
All right, question number 5.
He winds up the tail.
Question number 5, you guys. Give me not just your, but the top 2 tips about painting miniatures. And for this, we're going to jump over to SolidSmurf. Give us the top 2 tips.
Okay. First one is ask questions. If you see a mini you like and you want to know how to do that, ask the painter. Don't be afraid to approach someone, because if they're going to be a big butt person and be like, I'm not going to tell you, then you can figure it out on your own. And 2, thin down your paints. Thick paints will look gloppy.
Awesome. John, how about you? What are your top 2 painting tips?
I got to throw out there water your paints too. I mean, I can't stress enough how much you got to water your paints, or else it's going to just look thick on the model. And then the next is color agreement. You got to make sure you know what colors look good with what colors, so you're not either screaming too bright or you're contrasting too many colors.
Okay, Natakue, how about you?
Well, the first one that I would say is have the right brush for the job. Don't go try to painting an eye with a thick brush. Get the right brush for the job, and it'll be perfect. Second is I'm a big in create your own style. Just like Smurf said, don't be afraid to ask people and to learn new different techniques via web or whatever, and then combine them into your own unique style. That is just don't be afraid to do that.
Okay. My top two painting techniques is prime your mini and seal your mini. Because I don't know about you guys, but when I spend the time actually making the mini, I don't want the paint to ever just fall off. Further discussion here?
Man, I love it when my paint falls off my metal minis. It makes them look weathered.
Yeah, I know. It's cool. And to bring up what you said about sealing your mini, it's important to seal your mini. You're right. But it's even more important to seal it on those metal ones because it'll just flick off just like that. And don't ever use fingernail polish or the tester's paint to do that. I've seen people do that, and it turns out horrible.
I think another mistake people use, not mistake, but a question I get is I'm getting fuzz when I prime. I have fuzzy miniatures because they look all fuzzy like, and they're fuzzy like your beard, Smurf. But the biggest thing is shake the can. Shake it as you before you prime. For about 2 minutes, if not more.
Shake your primer.
Exactly.
Shake your primer.
And then pay attention to the weather. The lowest you should be priming in is about 40 degrees. And then humidity, if it's over 60, don't do it.
That's awesome. That's tips I didn't know. Let's go ahead and we're going to jump on to question number 6, which is, the highlight, the feature of the 40K roundtable discussion. Make a prediction, no matter how outlandish, about painting and Warhammer 40K. And this can be any prediction as long as painting and 40K are in the prediction. And for that, we're going to go and start off with John from WarGamePainting.
Well, I kind of thought, since everybody's going to be complaining and it's just going to keep getting worse, everybody's going to be complaining, I like to play, but I don't like to paint. It takes too much time. Games Workshop is just going to release an entire line of pre-painted models for twice as much as just normal plastic models.
Awesome. Nataka, what's your thoughts on this?
Well, as we all recently probably found out today, Disney bought the Marvel Universe. So my prediction is it's probably going to happen is here within the next year, Disney is probably going to buy GW, and you're going to have Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs army. You're probably going to have the Sleeping Beauty army. And you never know, you could have Pinocchio as the assassin who has an unlimited range as long as he lies. Now, me personally, those would be freaking awesome armies to paint because you could release them in a plastic set and it'd be great. You could have different colors in that. That is my prediction. I think GW is going to be bought by Disney and we're going to have Disney armies.
Fantastic. Smurf, what's your prediction there?
I was going to say exactly what Natakue said. he took my wind right out of me.
You got nothing?
I think we're going to have mechanical brushes that paint our miniatures for us.
Nice.
You just be like, brush, and it's going to be done.
It's going to be put out by Crest, too. Crest. You just hit it and go,
nice.
Exactly.
My prediction is actually that we're going to see the massive number of YouTubers that are coming in who are under the age of 15 making all kinds of armies that are going to be sold up on eBay. And if GW Smart wants to help out the gamer who doesn't want to paint his own minis, they'll find a way to give those guys a bit of a discount and make it happen. That's it for the roundtable discussion, episode 3. Hope you guys enjoyed. We got episode 4 coming up, pretty soon. So have a good one, guys.
Whenever.
Holla.